Hey guys, in this lecture we're going to be going over if statements. So an if statement, its basic form, looks like this. If whatever is inside of these parentheses resolves to true, then we're going to do something inside of here, inside of these two braces. Otherwise, if the condition inside of these parentheses isn't satisfied, we're going to do something inside of this else block. So we're getting a compiler error here because we're not actually providing any condition to be evaluated inside of our if statement. So we'll do that in just a sec. So let's think about how we would actually reach this line in our program. Well, in order to reach this line, the condition in here, it needs to resolve to true. So a very simple example is we could say that 2 is equal, we could check to see if 2 is equal to 2. Well, 2 is equal to 2, we know that, right? So it's 3 is equal to 3, and 4 is equal to 4, and 5 is equal to 5, and so on. And so if we say this, then we're always going to go inside of here. And if we print it out, yeah, we are inside of our if statement. So this is the same thing as saying, let's just try to comment here, 3 equals 3 is the same thing as saying, is 3 equal to 3? Well, yeah, it is always equal to 3, and so we're going to be going inside here. Now, is 4 equal to 3? Well, 4 isn't equal to 3, so we're going to be going inside of, we're not going to be going inside of this statement, right? But we're going to be going inside of our else block. So 4 isn't equal to 3, and so we are not inside our if statement. And so we're going to go in here, we're not inside of our if statement. Okay, fair enough. Now let's look at a more practical example. Suppose we run a ticketing booth, and on this day we're going to be giving each customer who's less than 18 a 10% discount. But if you're older than 18, you're not going to get any discount. And let's say that our ticket price is $10 by default. So let's create a variable for that. Default ticket price is equal to $10. Okay. And our discount is equal to 10%. Okay, cool. Now let's say that we're provided with an age of 30. If we're provided with an age of 30, what do we want to do? Well, if the age is less than 18, then give the customer a discount of 10%. Otherwise, if the customer is over 18, then don't give the customer a discount of 10%. Okay, so let's say that the customer is less than 18. How are we going to give this customer a discount? Let's create another variable. This variable is going to be initialized to the default ticket price. So when we create this, what it's doing is it's going inside default ticket price and it's fetching that value of 10, and then we're storing it in ticket price. Okay, so if a customer is less than 18, we're going to take our ticket price and then subtract the ticket price times the discount. So our ticket price is $10. Then we're subtracting 10 times 0.1. Remember, our discount is 0.1. 10 times 0.1 is 1, so then our ticket price is just going to be 9. And we can print this out. Okay, so we're 30, so if the customer, 30 is not less than 18, right? 30 is greater than 18, so we're not going to be going inside of here. That means we're going to be going inside of our else statement. Well, we're not really doing anything on our else statement. So the ticket price, it's just going to be this default ticket price of $10. And if we run it, yeah, we're going to see that it's $10. Now let's say that the customer is 10. Well, if the customer is 10, well, 10 is less than 18, and so our ticket price is going to be 10 minus 10 times 0.1, or 9. And then, yeah, 9. Okay, cool. So now, let's look at another form of an if-else statement called the if-else chain. So actually, let's continue with our previous example. let's say that we're going to give a discount of 10% to anyone who's less than 18. Then we're going to give a 5% discount if you're over 18, but you're less than 25. And then you're not going to get any discount at all if you're over 25. So how do we do that? Well, okay, so if the age is less than 18, then fine, we're going to give them a discount of 10%. If the age, so let's say that the age isn't 18, let's say that the customer is 30. Okay, so the customer is 30, so we're not going to go inside of this first block. Okay, so now we're going to go inside of this else block. So now, if the age is greater than, well, we already know that the age is greater than 18, so we want to make sure that the customer is less than 25. So the customer is 30, right? So we're going to go inside here, and then if age is less than 25, we're going to give the customer a discount of 5%. Otherwise, don't give the customer discount at all. So in this case, the customer is 30, so we're not going to give them any discount. But suppose the customer were 19, we're not going to go inside this first else if statement. That means we're going to go inside here, and then we're going to go inside of this one, because 19 is less than 25. So in order to give them a discount, we just do ticket price is equal to ticket price minus ticket price times 0.05. And we should see 9.5 here. Good. Okay, so now is there a way to simplify this? Turns out that we can use something called an else if statement. So what that does is it takes this, it takes our current arrangement, and let me just get rid of this one right here, this guy down here. So what this is doing is it's kind of doing the same thing we were doing before, but now it's a little more concise. So if the customer is less than 18, then go inside here. Otherwise, if the customer is less than 25, then go inside here. The difference is we're making sure by putting it inside here that the customer is over 18. Because if the customer is over 18, we're not going to be going inside of this first one. So we're going to be skipping this condition. So the customer has to be greater than 18 at this point. So now if we reach this final else statement, that means that the customer has to be greater or equal to, actually, or equal to 18, because we don't have a less than or equal to symbol right here. We just have that greater than equal to 25 at this point. And so we can do that, and you can see that we don't actually need this else statement because we're not actually doing anything inside of it. So we can just get rid of it, and this will do what we want. Alright, so that wraps up this brief introduction to if-else statements. In the next video, we're going to go into these in more depth.